Hi everyone, hi Miss Jillian. I am Mary Jidel Blanco from BSN2B, and I am so excited to share my understanding of the four topics in language learning. The first is the behaviorist theory, the second is the nativist theory, the third is the social interaction theory, and lastly, the stages in child language acquisition. So let's begin. So first, we have the behaviorist theory by Bruce Frederick Skinner that explains that people learn language through imitation, repetition, and rewards. So learners copy what they hear and improve when they get praise or positive feedback. So the importance of this is that it reminds teachers that positive reinforcement builds a confidence and helps students develop good speaking habits. So an example is that when a student struggles to pronounce beautiful and the teacher helps them repeat like beautiful and says perfect, great job. So the students feel proud and motivated to learn more. That's the behaviorist theory in action, learning through encouragement, imitation, and practice. So we have a second theory, which is the nativist theory by Noam Chomsky. So the nativist theory states that people are born with the natural ability to learn language. Inside our brain is something that is called the language acquisition device, or the LAD, which help us automatically understand and create grammar patterns even without formal lessons or teaching. So the importance of this is that this shows that language learning is a natural human ability. As long as children are exposed to language, they will learn from it. So the example of that is a little girl named Mary who always hear her mom says daddy is cooking or mommy is cleaning. So one day she sees her dog and says doggy is sleeping. So no one taught her that. She just used the pattern her brain recognized that is the subject plus is plus action. So that's Chomsky's nativist theory. Our brains are naturally wired for language learning. So the next theory is the social interaction theory by Lev Vygotsky. So the social interaction theory states that the language develops through communication and interaction with others. So we learn to speak by talking and listening to people around us. So the importance of this theory is that it highlights the language learning that grows best in a social environment where students share ideas and communicate. So in the example of this is that in the classroom, students learn faster through group activities, pair works, role plays, like when two students practice like, hello, how are you? I'm fine. Thank you. That's the reply of the other student. So they are learning through real interaction, not just memorization. So that's how Vygotsky's theory works. Language grows through cooperation and communication. So the last stage of language learning acquisition is the stages in child's language acquisition. So the stages in child language acquisition show how children develop step by step from making simple sounds to form complete sentences. So the importance of this is that it helps teachers and parents understand how children learn to speak so they can guide them patiently at each stage. So let's proceed to the stages. The first stage is the babbling stage. It is around 6 months old, where babies make sounds like baba, dada, or mama. So the second stage is the one word stage. It is around 1 year old, where they start making or saying single words like milk, mama, toy. And the third stage is the two-word stage. Around 2 years old, they combine two words like one cookie or go park. And the fourth is the telegraphic stage. It is around 3 years old and up. They use short but meaningful sentences like I want juice, mommy go work, like that. So one example also is that a child is playing with blocks and might first say block, then blue block, then later I build big block. It shows how their language grows naturally through experience and interaction, step by step. And for conclusion, I believe that B.F. Skinner showed that language learned through imitation and rewards, while Noam Chomsky said that we're born ready to learn. It is more on nature. And Lev Vygotsky emphasized learning through interaction. And the stages explains how language develops step by step. And as a future teacher, I apply these theories by creating a classroom full of encouragement, interaction, and patience.